This is the plaintiff, Reed Karatzis. He says the defendant was a family friend, and he can't believe he has to drag him to court today because the guy's being stubborn and money hungry. That's right, he rented an apartment from him, lived there for a year, left the place in broom-swept condition, and is now having one heck of a time getting his security deposit returned. He's here in the name of justice suing for the $2,500 he's owed. This is the defendant, Jawanza Yahuma. He says the plaintiff and his roommate left the apartment smelly, dirty, and the floors were full of deep gouges. He also left behind 12 pieces of furniture, and he had to spend a considerable amount of time and money fixing up the place. He has every right as a landlord keeping the plaintiff's money to cover these costs, and that's just what he did. He's accused of holding on tight. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $5,000 for 2 months of rent.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket, the plaintiff says he rented an apartment from the defendant who was a family friend, left it broom clean, the guy screwing him out of security. But the defendant says the apartment was smelly, dirty, and the floors were gouged. It's the case of get on your broom and fly.
Sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Reed Karatzis, and you're representing your roommate, Sam McGaffin, correct?
Yes.
You are suing Jawanza Nyahuma, your former landlord, for $2,500, the security deposit that you believe you should get entirely back. You have a counterclaim against them for $5,000 for rent for April and May. Talk to me. What happened?
So we moved out March 31st, and then...
Were you on a month-to-month at that point, or was that the end of your lease?
Yes, we were on a month-to-month. We stayed 1 month after our lease had ended.
Okay.
That same weekend, April 2nd, we had a walkthrough with the defendant, looked through the apartment. The one issue that was brought up was the scratches on the floor, and we established that we would talk about it and get a price, look at the scope of work. We had no contact.
Did you get an estimate on fixing it?
No.
How did it get damaged?
I assume just from furniture moving.
Okay.
I mean, it's my fault,
all right.
Clearly. April 17th, contacted him, asked him where the deposit was. He gave us the runaround for weeks. We asked him again on May 8th for the deposit back. He said he had sent it the week before, but when we got checks for considerably less, they were signed that same day, May 8th, when we asked for them. They were for, there was $1,100 in deductions, no evidence, just a list that...
And what did he say he was keeping it for?
One for floor repairs, one for a deep clean service that he had, and one for trash removal.
Okay. Do you have your lease?
No, I don't.
Oh, why not? Did you sign a lease?
I did sign a lease.
Well, you don't keep copies of things that you sign?
I did have a copy of it. That is an oversight on my part.
Do you have a copy of the lease?
I actually left it as well. I ran out this morning.
People? Seriously? Nobody brought a copy of the lease, so I see if it has to be deep cleaned or broom swept?
I realized it when we were in the car.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's
that
sitting on
works
the
for
front
me
end.
because most leases say broom swept. They don't make you deep clean unless there's something that they left behind. Why did you keep a portion of the security deposit? Do you have the letter that he sent you saying, I'm keeping it for these reasons?
No, I don't.
Are you just, your hands are in your pockets? You're a plaintiff in court. You've brought zero. Why did you keep the money?
I kept the money to cover the items I presented in the letter.
Okay, so in the letter that I can't see, do you have a copy of the letter?
Yes, I
Great.
do.
Thank you. This is May 30th, right? Attached for your review are the receipts for the cleaning service and floor repair. The gentleman who removed all the trash and furniture you left behind charges $300 since it required 2 trips with his pickup truck. 12 bags of trash and recyclables that were not separated and visibly spilling out of the bags, the area rug, and lastly, the box of heavy metal brackets or something that I am unfamiliar with, but was too heavy for Tiffany to lift and discard on her own. Who's Tiffany?
She's my fiance.
Okay, so do you have pictures of what you're complaining about here?
Yes, I have pictures and I
Let
have
me
the
see
receipts.
the pictures and the receipts. Okay, are these your pictures of how he left the place?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, let's look at this. What am I looking at there?
So the granite is stained. It's all gray, but you can see it's brown. So that was part of what prompted to get the cleaning service in there. That's the tub, bathroom area. It's pretty much the same throughout. We have there's a vanity that was also brand new, but every shelf in there, every surface in there is covered in something. It's hard to explain why that is. The stove as well, completely
Actually, the stove
covered
doesn't
in
look that bad.
if you touched it, you'd feel the film with the grease on it. Trust me. Those are.
Yeah, but what are you keeping money for?
So if a place isn't left broom clean, can the landlord automatically hire a cleaning crew and then deduct from the security the cost of the cleaning crew?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it depends. I think how the conditions of the apartment were when that tenant originally moved into.
So if it's not broom clean getting it, you don't have to leave it broom clean coming out?
I think that's fair. Yeah.
You think that's the law?
Nah.
Yeah. What do you say?
I don't know about that one, honestly, because if it was in my position, I'd be pretty mad.
Why?
Well, because I put a security deposit down for it.
Yeah, but you didn't leave it broom clean.
It's a good point.
Thank you. Going inside the courtroom.
The money was kept for the
For
cleaning
the cleaning
service,
and the floor.
repair, and then the removal of the debris.
The three things.
Three
the
things.
removal. You've kept part of a security deposit for the removal of the trash, the deep cleaning that you talked about.
Trash and furniture was two things.
Trash and furniture.
Right.
The deep cleaning that you talked about, and the wood floors.
That's
now,
correct.
on the wood floors, you ended up staining the whole thing again, right?
Not the whole thing, just that room.
Okay.
So it's three rooms to make up the apartment that are all the same color.
Okay.
And the guy looked at it and said they're too deep. There's nothing he could do. It'd be a big spot. So you'd have
Right.
to do that room. So we only did up into the doorway.
And how much did that cost you? Oh my gosh, that's awful. How much did that cost you?
That was $700.
Okay. What's this?
It looks like partial paint, partial scuffing. We couldn't quite make it out.
All right, and no, that can't be your best cleaning moment. All right.
Can't say it
and
is.
And you can see the
Is this the trash he left?
right.
This took 2 trips?
Well, no, that's the trash plus the furniture. So the trash itself.
Where's the furniture?
There's additional pictures of the furniture, but right there in that image, you can see the futon and the area rug. The rest of the furniture, I have other pictures of as well. That was left in the apartment.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yeah.
Both my roommate and I contacted Jawanza trying to remove the furniture because we'd given
Yeah,
up
but
the keys.
why'd you leave it behind to begin with?
Because we had plans to move it, but
Wait, but your lease was over. Like, when were you planning to move it? In the future after you left?
I would have done it the same day.
Why didn't you? See, that's the point. I always hear this from the tenant. Oh, I would have done it, but you didn't do it, did you? So how much money did you keep
I don't know.
of the security deposit? How much was the security deposit?
The security was $2,500.
Okay, and you sent what, $575 twice?
Yeah, there you
Correct?
go.
May I see the checks? Did you cash them or you didn't?
We did not cash them.
Okay. All right, so what he kept would be $700 for the floors, $300 for the cleaning, and $350 for the trash removal.
$1,350 is what I kept.
Let me ask you this. You've seen the pictures. So do you feel that, what is it you're arguing against? Because you can't be arguing against the floor. The floors are an abomination, and $700 was a good price. So, because I know, you may not know, but I know how much that costs. Now, the junk and the cleaning, did you want to debate that?
The entire time we lived there, we put our trash in that spot.
That's what you're supposed to do. What do you want, a cookie?
No,
I mean,
but-
that's what you're supposed to do. That's not, I'm talking about what you left behind when you moved out. Are they going to pick up that rug, and what else was out there? A rug and what else?
Out front was a rug and a futon frame, and then what was left was a sectional 3-seat portion, the larger portion, the sectional
Why?
lounge.
Because it was too hard to bring out?
I had someone lined up to take it that day,
What day?
the day of the walkthrough.
And what happened?
I
person
never got a
didn't show?
response. I said, what time can I come by?
To pick it up?
Yeah,
Okay, can I see the text that you're saying?
I do not have it.
Oh, look at that. All right,
apologize.
well, guess what else you don't have? You don't have the rest of that security deposit. Now, you have a counterclaim against him for $5,000 for April and May rent. Why?
The time it took us to try to deal with this unit, and
But that's on you, how long it takes to deal with the unit. Why would he have to pay for that?
he should have to pay for it because it was
For 2 months?
dealing with those contractors.
Now, what you said in your answer to the complaint was that it was a small job, so the guy kept putting you off.
Yeah, dealing with the
Yeah,
contractors.
okay, well,
That's-
no, that's not on him. So on your counterclaim, 0. That's my verdict.
Okay.
So it is a 0-0 tie here in the People's Court. Mr. Karatsas, the plaintiff, has just come out of the courtroom. You know, to be honest with you, you were a very poorly prepared plaintiff. Would you agree?
I didn't have enough evidence.
when it comes down
That's
to
right.
it.
You didn't have any evidence to show. You didn't have anything to convince the judge that you should have prevailed in the lawsuit. That really hurt you. And he was well prepared. Lots of pictures. They didn't look good for you. Would you agree?
I agree.
Okay. Sorry. You lost the case. Okay.
It
Thank you
happens.
very much. Here comes the defendant now. And you lost your countersuit. You understand that?
I do, unfortunately.
Okay, yeah, all right. But you know, at least you won your part. You were well prepared. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much.
All right.
That'll wrap up this case. All right. Harvey, very interesting. What you think?
Okay, 2 words. Take pictures when you move in, when you move out.